insulted and like literally forgotten about. And I was like, Jennifer, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, I don't usually swear on BookTok. Like, I was just like, what? No, like, I'm sorry, that's like so rude. And, like,
hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. I'm still a little bit sick, but I wanted to do a quick review of a book I read or listened to last month that I personally did not like much at all, and I think it's quite problematic, and I just thought I wanted to just like share my thoughts, because although I haven't seen many people's reviews of this book, the ones I have seen haven't really been talking about a specific thing I'm going to talk about, and I just feel like in 2023, like, books shouldn't be coming out that are like portraying this message. But anyway, the book is Burying Eva Flores by Jennifer Alsever. So thank you to NetGalley and Books Go Social Audio for accepting me to be a reviewer of this audiobook. This is my honest review. I gave it 1.75 stars. The basic plot summary is that we follow Sophia, who is a high schooler. She's like a photographer, like artist sort of thing, and she's having her life ruined by the TikTok sensation that is Eva Flores. She copies her, she frames and accuses her for things. Her family buys her house and her workplace are sort of like move out, and so forth. And then Sophia's friend Morgan gives her a journal that was apparently her grand's, but actually it wasn't in the end. Sorry, spoiler. it's not important. And whenever she writes in this journal, like the things, like the story comes to life, and she's sort of like, she's asked to write a story for like a class, and that's sort of like how it starts to come to life. Anyway, so this is how she like gets her revenge on Eva, and then there is like some more sinister things happening and like goes on like within Eva's home life. There's also like another like plot line with Sophia's other friend Ethan trying to buy a car so he can like escape his like paranoid end of the world obsessed dad. I don't really want to talk about the plot really anymore. I just want to like get onto the actual review. So yeah, what did I like? Honestly, like very little. Like the mystery elements and like the storytelling parts was okay, and like the teenage angst and like drama was like alright, but nothing like stood out. Sophia and Eva were the most developed characters, and there was some interesting aspects of their personality, but like I said Sophia's brother Dylan was definitely my favourite. And I'm so super pissed about a certain thing that happens to him that I'll explain later. And it's just like annoying. And then Ethan and Morgan were like okay, but they're pretty one-dimensional. I think Ethan was like gay or bi, which like yay. But like it wasn't like actually spelled out, so I don't actually fully know. And in terms of representation, it's like quite like you don't really know much about them, honestly, so like it's like nothing's explicitly stated, so like I can't really like comment on the representation really in it. It's just like they're all kind of just like one-dimensional or like generic high schoolers. So yeah, I think the dialogue and a lot of what happened, it was like very like unrealistic and cringy and gave me mega like eye roll moments. Like it's just like I don't think like people really talk like that, and in many parts of the book it was just very like meh, like it was like okay. And I know like the journal aspect coming to life like isn't really like the most realistic thing, because obviously it's not, but like there was actually other parts on here that fully made me like question like Jennifer, like okay, like these are the decisions you're making. Okay, the messages were also not good. I'll expand on in a sec. And it deals with like themes of like grooming, like sexual harassment, self-harm and suicidal thoughts, fat phobia and eating disorders, but in a like an unhelpful manner. And like nothing is really like questioned or resolved. And it's just, I feel like quite a lot of these other parts was just like an added like, oh my god, like just like other like little like dumpy thing. And like there's no like conclusion, so like it's just like it's not, I don't really see the point in it. And like, I mean, if you're gonna like add these like trigger warning like things in, then like at least like address them, or like don't just like plop and then just like, you know, leave it unresolved. Like it's just like, I don't really get the point of that. It's just like quite unhelpful. You know why we got like multiple POV like chapters? Like it's clear that Sophia and like is the main character, because all the like only most like chapters are from her, but like Eva being like the antagonist of the story is like okay, and then like yeah, she could have had more chapters, but like the ones from like Ethan and Morgan's were just like really unnecessary. And like this combined with the tangented storylines and other things just made the book like a lot longer than I feel like it needed to be. And then I just like, also I just could not care less as I went on, and it just dragged, like honestly it dragged so much. I was like, hun, get to the end. But yeah, and then this is like a little like, because I listened to the audiobook specific notes. I said the multicast aspect was like good. It was narrated clear and with some differences that aligned to like what was happening. That's like they made like it's a certain bits like exaggerated or whatever. But like I feel like all of the narrators were older than the ones they were portraying, and then it just that like also added to like the unrealisticness, because like they're talking like thingy, but they're like acting like, you know. And it's especially clear with Ethan. Like Ethan's narrator was like way too old, like in my opinion, for the character he was portraying. And then like this is like a bit that I think it's actually, I'm offended, but like it's just, I don't know, let me just say. So the parts that are like done by Dylan, not the parts narrated by Dylan's narrator, but basically there's bits where like Dylan has sent a text or is talking that is being narrated by the other character in a way, and they put on this sort of like typical like dumb person voice, and like Dylan is meant to have like learning and like mental disabilities or like problems, and I thought this was quite like offensive, and I feel like they should have maybe just like deepened his voice. I suppose there was mostly only like Sophia's parts, but like obviously it was a woman doing it, but like she should have just like deepened her voice. But like to make him sound like this sort of like I don't want to do it because like it's disrespectful, but like it's like that typical sort of like dumb personly like voice, and I just felt like it was really like really unnecessary and kind of rude, and like it's 2023, like you don't need to be doing that. Just like yeah, we know he has like these certain like mental problems, but like you don't have to like make him like sound like stupid. I just thought that was really like offensive. But yeah, so now I'm going to talk about some spoilers, so if anyone cares you can turn off now, but like I wouldn't really recommend this book anyway. So like I just thought like the parts I'm going to say are more reasons for why I don't like the book, and yeah, so they are sort of spoilers, but like watch if you want. So around like the 70%-ish mark, I'm not actually sure if it is around him, but like I don't really care. This is when another character, Aiden, takes the journal from Sophia, and then Sophia calls Dylan, and she's like he tells her that, oh, Aiden came into the journal because like you're supposed to like swap assignments things. So Dylan was like he was just told what was actually happening, and then Sophia is like, she insults him and says like, oh, you have no brain. And like we have already been introduced, like this is a common bullying tactic used against Dylan, and like Sophia's usually one side that can console him and like defend him, but she actively like used a common insult towards him when he did nothing wrong. I get that she was like obviously like pissed and stuff, but like she didn't need to like do this, especially to Dylan, because like that's her brother and she knows he has like problems. And yeah, so like obviously this is like annoys me because like she does that, and like afterwards she because she also like pisses off Ethan and Morgan and Eva, but like they sort of get resolved in a way, but like Dylan is not mentioned once again in the rest of the whole book. Like, he doesn't apologize. He's not even like talked about one more time after that moment. I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? So you can make it right with all like the other characters that I honestly do not care about, but like the one character that we all like love, the only like nice character, the only one that has like no flaws, he just gets like shat on and like pushed aside and not spoken about again. He's like he's insulted and like literally forgotten about, and I'm just like, Jennifer, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, I don't usually swear on book top, but like, I'm just like, what? No, like, I'm sorry, that's like so rude. And like, especially like in the narrator, like doing like a shoe person voice, and then he gets like insulted by his like own sister, by the person that he knows is like usually there to like help him and like defend him. And so like he like usually believes things she says, so like he's obviously like clearly hurt by this. And he's just totally forgotten about. And I was like, why did you even add it in then? You didn't need to add it in if you're just gonna forget about him. And like, it's just, I'm just like, why is nobody else talking about it? It just annoys me so much. Like, I'm annoyed with her doing that, but like the more annoying thing is that he just gets forgotten, and I'm just like, no thank you. Yeah, and then Sophia tries to get back at Eva by like seducing her like creepy but like apparently handsome, oh well, that makes it right, stepdad, who is just like, ew, oh my god, no thank you. And like it only went like as far as like a kiss, so like okay, but like it's still just like wrong, and like we all know this, like it's just like and like it's just like don't do it. It's just such bad behavior. And he's like a creep for like his actions, and like his actions aren't like even addressed or like resolved. I'm just like, oh my god, what on earth? And Eva like goes about like slut shaming Sophia too, and I'm just like, this is just so like, it's just so problematic, like addition that just like was not resolved. It's like so unnecessary. It's just like annoying. But yeah, final point is that okay. So it's basically at the end of the book now. Eva, basically, she goes into hiding. She goes like, she pretends to go missing. She goes into hiding. She has to start a whole new life with a whole like new identity and everything, just to get away from her like fucking creepy stepdad Manny. And like she does all that, and he just like gets to go around. So I'm just like, what is this teaching? Like, what is this actually teaching? This is actually so problematic, because like there's like I hate it like when you read about like injustice or like mistreat and like general like ill like like things that are like bad that's actually happening, but like you want a conclusion, you want resolutions, you want like justice, and like when it just doesn't happen, you're just like, why did I read this? Like, why did I listen to this? Like, why did you make me go through this if I was just gonna be left with like unsatisfactory like stuff? Yeah, so like he has to live his life like probably being a predator to like other like young women, and Eva just like, she had other reasons, but like, this is the main reason. I'm just like, it's just so like, it's just so pointless. That is the end of my little rant. Honestly, I'm just like, this book was just don't read it. Honestly, do not read it. It's really not worth your time. It's really like an unsatisfactory reading experience. I kind of hated it. The more I think about it, I think I'm going to lower it to like a 1 on Goodreads and maybe like a 1.5 on StoryGraph. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed this like little ranting video. Sometimes it's fun to like talk about the books we don't like, because like I'm passionate about it. I'm just like negatively passionate about it, and Dylan was so robbed. But yeah, anyway, hope you have a good evening, night, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.